I did my bit as Donald Trump. You don't want to be Donald Trump. But what he is, I believe, is a brat.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason. They do that, all these salacious names.
The audience cheers.
I think he needs help.
Picture this, Melania Trump strutting down the White House halls, desperately trying to ignore the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the Trump in the room? Now imagine Morgan Freeman and Jonny Depp sitting back with a cup of tea, spilling all that scalding hot truth about the First Lady's impossible job. It's a story so good you couldn't make it up if you tried. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Alright folks, buckle up because we're about to take a wild ride through Hollywood's version of the White House. It's like a reality show, but with better actors and worse plots. So picture this. Morgan Freeman and Jonny Depp, two of Tinseltown's biggest stars, decide to take on the Trumps.
Trolling the Republican Party. State it, and what's this guy's name? The audience cheers.
I think he needs help.
Why? Well, maybe they got tired of playing make-believe and wanted to tackle some real-life characters instead. Now, these aren't just random zingers they're throwing out. Oh no, these are precision-guided missiles aimed right at Trump's ego. And let me tell you, that's one big target. Freeman, with that voice that could make reading the phone book sound like poetry, decides to get real about Melania's situation. He says, imagine being Melania Trump, married to a guy who thinks he's the star of his own reality show. Ouch. I mean, talk about being stuck in a bad episode of The Apprentice White House edition.
He was difficult. Because how do you approach that, John? How do you approach that?
But Depp, not to be outdone, goes straight for the jugular, or should I say, the wardrobe. He jokes about Melania's fashion choices, saying her power suits are like armor against Trump's behavior. Every time she walks out in one of those power suits, Depp quips, it feels like she's trying to pretend not to notice my husband acting like a toddler. And just when you think it can't get any spicier, Depp drops this gem. If I had to walk arm in arm with someone whose ego could sink the Titanic, I'd probably rock the icy blonde hair too. I don't know about you, but I'm sensing a new Hollywood power couple in the making. Move over, Brangelina. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about getting laughs. These guys are making some serious points about the state of our country. It's like they're holding up a funhouse mirror to the White House, and the reflection is both hilarious and horrifying.
Donald Trump. I'm going to build a wall. I told them to build me that wall. I want a sensational wall. A fabulous wall.
As the jokes pile up, you start to wonder, is this just entertainment or something more? Are we laughing because it's funny, or because if we don't laugh, we might cry? The audience at the UK Music Festival where Depp made these comments sure seemed to think it was both. They cheered like it was the encore at a rock concert. Who knew political commentary could be such a crowd pleaser?
But what he is, I believe, is a brat.
But here's the thing, this isn't just celebs blowing hot air. Studies show that satire can be a powerful tool for critiquing those in power. It's like a comedic kryptonite for inflated egos. So when Freeman and Depp roast Trump, they're not just telling jokes, they're speaking truth to power, one punchline at a time.
I did my bit as Donald Trump. You don't want to be Donald Trump.
In a kind of historical way, it's exciting because we will see the actual last President of the United States.
Ever wonder what it's like to be married to a walking, talking Twitter tantrum? Well, Melania Trump might just deserve an Oscar, but not for the reasons you'd think. Jonny Depp, our resident Hollywood bad boy turned political commentator, thinks Melania's been putting on quite the show. And let's be honest, being Trump's first lady is like starring in a reality show where the plot gets crazier by the minute. Depp, in his infinite wisdom, joked that Melania's infamous "I really don't care" jacket wasn't just a fashion statement, it was her audition piece. Talk about method acting, right? It's like she's been preparing for this role her whole life. But here's the thing, when your hubby is busy debating the merits of injecting bleach on national TV, keeping a straight face becomes an Olympic sport. But wait, there's more. Depp didn't stop there. He crowned Melania as the queen of passive-aggressive elegance. Now, that's a title you won't find in the First Lady handbook. It's like she's playing 4D chess while the rest of us are still figuring out how to set up the board. Her fashion choices aren't just clothes, they're a secret language. It's like she's been leaving us breadcrumbs all along, and we're just now catching up. And let's not forget about Morgan Freeman, the voice of God himself, chiming in on Melania's unique job description.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason. They do that, all these salacious names.
Freeman pointed out the irony in Melania's public statements about kindness and anti-bullying. It's like preaching veganism while working at a steakhouse. The man's got a point. Melania's environment is about as peaceful as a cage match between two angry cats. But here's where it gets interesting. Both Depp and Freeman seem to think Melania's silence in the face of all this chaos is actually a form of strength. It's like she's the eye of the storm, calm and collected while everything around her is going bonkers. Who knew that not saying anything could say so much? So, is Melania in on the joke, or is she the punchline?
I don't remember what the question was, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to answer it anyway.
Very good. It's amazing.
Watch him. There's a pretense. There's something created about him in a sense of bulliedom.
That's the million-dollar question, folks. Is she playing 5D chess while we're all stuck in checkers? Or is she just trying to make it through another day in the wildest White House in history? Looks like Freeman and Depp aren't just Hollywood hotshots. They're the comedic crusaders we didn't know we needed. These guys are basically the court jesters of democracy, pointing out that the emperor's new clothes are, well, not there at all. But here's the kicker. Their jokes aren't just for laughs. They're like a comedic wake-up call, making us all take a closer look at the circus in Washington.
Do you feel like you get wiser as you get older, or does it cap out at a certain age?
Everything is mine. Even if I don't own it yet, I'll have it.
And get this, experts say this kind of political humor is only gonna get bigger. With social media, these zingers spread faster than fake tan on a windy day. It's like we're all part of one big roast, and the politicians are the main course. So next time you hear a celeb taking a swipe at a politician, remember, sometimes the truth comes gift wrapped in laughter. And let's face it, in today's world, we could all use a good laugh, especially at the expense of those big-headed bigwigs in power.